Yes. Director Fox is online. Can't see him, but it's all yours.
All right, thank you. All right. It is 5 o'clock on Wednesday, February 18th. I'm calling to order the meeting of the Sandy Fire District. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With your changes to the agenda, sir.
Nope, the agenda is as stands.
Okay, approval of the minutes of the January 21st meeting.
I'll make the motion that we accept the board meetings from the January meeting that is presented.
Ryan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ron made a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting. Can we get a second from you?
Sure, I'll second that.
On favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. All right, I don't see any public here, so I don't think we have any public comments. All right. Chief Leaders, should we go to the board approval of the fire ballot title?
Yes, thank you. In your packet, you received the information about the ballot title and the summary that we need to submit to county elections to get into the voters pamphlet. Earlier today, I sent all of the board a updated email with that information. We had to update the information in 2 areas. The county notified us this morning that they have updated the median value throughout the Cache County, which affected Sandy's median value as well. And that new value, so the changes to what was in your packet to what you have in front of you and what was emailed is that the median value went up to $262,390. That assessed value, so that changes the average increase to per home per month to $4.90 instead of $4.68 per month. So those are the 2 changes. They're in front of you, and if approved, that will be what you're approving, and that's what will go into the minutes. And then I will update the staff report because it does have the old numbers in it as well, so that everything will match. So that, happy to answer any questions. If it's approved tonight, we will submit tomorrow to county elections. And in turn, they will provide us at some point, they don't do it right away, but they'll provide us the ballot number. So that we can start referring to that number. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay, we need a motion to accept the, we need to read the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we accept the Sandy annexation measure revised on 2/18/2026. The title, questionnaire, summary, and explanatory thing statement. Perfect.
I will second that.
All right, roll call vote from that.
Stu,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Thank you for all your work on that and keeping us up to date, even at the very last minute.
Yeah, I apologize for that last minute.
No, hey,
They just informed us this morning.
okay, do we have anything from the Joint Oversight Committee?
Nothing, we just had a few meetings. I think things going well.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything that people have asked that has jumped out.
No.
And I would say that for the stuff I've been involved with and Wells and Chris, I felt like any questions that came up, we were able to satisfy them and like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it went well, and there was a lot of competition. The one-on-ones.
Was there good?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
And then kind of along the lines of that, there is now a social media committee of which I'm a part. That's one with Lindsay Hendren.
Great.
And we've got, I think, 5 other people that are going to help out with, we're gonna do bi-weekly meetings and there's a whole, apparently she hasn't shared all this stuff with you yet, but we've got a whole list of things to do, but it's mainly for those of us who have volunteered to, is to monitor social media, Facebook and, all the others that people are involved in. And I picked people who are not afraid to
That's great.
respond, and we're giving them talking points to work from, so.
So if there's factual information that's out of the community, that's awesome. So
Yeah, because, as I told you before, I had one guy who loves to respond, but sometimes doesn't have factual information, so. I'd already started out with him, I said, don't respond until we give you some stuff.
Yeah.
But he's more than willing to, because he monitors Facebook all the time, so
That's
that's
awesome.
good.
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah, and thank you so much for taking that on. When we first started talking about that concept, and I knew you were the one to go to in that area to help us vet some of those folks out and to get the right people. So I appreciate you doing that. And we're actively working on that same concept in here, Sandy.
Okay.
Great.
I have one more, and shout out our thanks to Chief Dieters for putting together all the fact sheets and summarizing them up, and for lack of a better term, kind of dumbing them down so they're just simple and easy to read points on it. I think.
Well, we can't get too complicated.
Right.
For those who have to explain it to other people.
Yeah. And I was, I think the biggest one I walked away with the response time was, because I live very rurally, right? I've had come out before, and it's 15 minutes. It's, did we ever come up with a urban number?
There is, if you look at that sheet, there is for the medical, it has that 6 minutes, 30, that's.
Yeah.
But for the fires, we weren't able to break that.
Okay. But anyway, thank you.
That was Shelby's help there, so I appreciate Shelby's help on that.
I knew there was somebody behind you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely, that piece there was, yes.
It'd be great to have that
Thank you,
information.
Shelby.
Asked.
Yeah, exactly. And all the presentations with you, all that information is gleaned from all of those sheets that were provided. So anytime we have anything that goes out in publication or anything, it can all tie back to those of the sheets.
All right. Thank you. All right, Chief Brown.
Awesome.
You're next.
Great, thank you so much. As far as January busy month, we responded as an agency to 3,464 apparatus responses. What you're gonna notice is a new format in front of you as far as the data collection point. So you'll see up there in the upper right-hand corner, monthly total life saved. And then if you look in the lower left corner where it says, did you know Clackamas Fire protects over 300 square miles? We've recently transitioned to the nearest data collection, which is a federally mandated reporting system. But normally what you would see in that box is property saved. We've talked about this before over the last couple of months, is really putting a focus and letting our community members know the amount of property that the fire department saved by having us and the amount of lives saved. I think metrics like that is something that the community really is interested in and they want to know versus how many calls we've responded to. It's actually what we're doing with the responses that we're going. And I think that matters. And so you'll see, and you've seen it on previous reports, but you'll see in future reports, property saved. And one of the things I'd like to point out, just because we've talked about Sandy and the community of Sandy, that 1 in 5 calls, so 20% of the calls here, you can expect to have multiple calls at the same time. And really, if you look at the trending across the fire district as a whole, it's impressive to me that last month 736 calls that we responded to were just isolated calls. 906 had double taps. 615, 3 calls at the same time. 317 were 4 calls at the same time, and 206 calls were 5+ calls at the same time. And so it really speaks to why we're doing what we're doing and being able to answer all the needs of our community. And I think it speaks to why there's that push for getting the rescue 24 hours a day. And it's just pretty impressive when you look at the simultaneous calls that we respond to. As far as some other things, we were involved with a active shooter hostile event response training with Sandy Police Department. And that was exciting. We're going to do a drill coming up. I think it was the 28th, Ron, if I'm correct. My date might be off, but towards the end of January, we did a meet the chief at Mount Mocha.
Yeah.
And a couple individuals showed up, but one in particular, and had a really good conversation with Ron and myself. And it showed, you know, it was good to see those points that you guys worked on together, and then actually being able to hear the data from the other end as Ron, you were talking. It paints a really easy to understand, easily digestible amount of information that's really imperative.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was watching as Ron was talking to this individual who had a lot of great questions, and Ron saying, here's why the board is supportive of this. Before Clackamas Fire, this is what we were at with Sandy Fire. This is where we're at with Clackamas Fire. And it really told a story. And so I thought that conversation was great. And we have a couple more community events and meet the chief, one in February, March, and April. I can't remember the February date off the top of my head, but Ron and I will be at that one as well. It's at the Ant Farm coming up. So,
and if I can on that one too, when we portrayed it, is we talked about all the things that have happened
yeah,
with Clackamas, but then at the same point, at the same time, of how good things have been going overall for Sandy. So it's
for sure.
It wasn't like it was bad.
No,
It just
no.
right. It's just boom. Now it's
That's
at another level.
That's
that
it.
we have here.
Yeah, it was the service. You guys, Sandy Fire did amazing things with the staff that they had and the volunteers, but now seeing where we could go
Correct.
together, it was pretty impressive. And then today we had a presentation this morning. There was about 15 community members at it. That's good. I'll leave that to Steve to talk to further, but I do like stealing his stuff. But with that, would be happy to answer any questions you have for me.
I'm glad you're doing that. Hopefully you'll hit some of the right people that need to hear the message. So.
Well, there's been a couple individuals that we've engaged with through that have been very, very educational, and perspectives have changed. People that were very frustrated, not understanding, and then being able to meet me face to face and talk through it. And they saw exactly what you are seeing as the elected officials. And so it's been being able to just sit there and talk about why we're doing this and what the reasoning is that people start to understand.
And as it becomes more apparent that it's going to be on the ballot,
Yes.
right? It's kind of like a primer thing for us to go through, right?
Totally.
And, I think there'll be more individuals to go forward.
Agree. Completely agree.
I'm sure that there'll be more, and we can identify some of them from some of the social media,
That's
but people need
That's
a little
exactly
bit
it.
more education.
Well, that's our plan, is to really point them toward you, Sue.
It's okay, I've already got one on my radar that I will
love
take.
I love that.
Because he's somebody I know, somebody who used to be affiliated with the fire department.
That's great.
And in the November election, he was very negative, saying,
Yeah,
you know, but he was going on old information.
yeah,
And, you know, he just needs to be updated, so.
yep, agreed.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Cool,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, so Chief Peters, what have you got for us? A lot, I think.
Yeah, I got quite a bit, actually. So I'll start with calls for service, 213 calls for service out of this station last month. You know, a few events, and then Nick tried to start talking about this morning's event. This was the first presentation that we did to a community group where we had the slides, and Ron was able to attend, and Chris as well, and Chief Schneider. Had quite a good turnout of employees, and the presentation for the first time went well. I think the information is easy to digest, and that was on purpose. And like I said, afterward, we had quite a few one-on-one conversations with folks that had, you know, questions, and things like that. So all in all, I think it went really well. We had the first, meet the chief, and there's several of those planned. We have several events planned or community engagements planned for the next couple of months. I've been in communication with the interagency committee with all of those dates. What I wanted to ask tonight is there value in sending those to the entire board, just in case, just so you know what's going on in the community, and if by chance you wanted to attend or stop by or something like that. I know I included you with the Furlough CPO, and you're gonna attend that one.
Yeah, for sure.
So if there's any value to that, or I can just keep it to the interagency and they can disperse the information, but there are several that we have planned going forward. I haven't emailed you yet, Ron, but we just secured a city council meeting on April 6th, so I'll send that, so we'll be presenting there as well. And then we're also taking advantage of any time we can get information into the Sandy Standard or the Sandy Post. The letter that we worked on together did hit the Sandy Post online February 13th, I believe. So it was just as written, so but it's out there. And then we're planning another letter. The Sandy Standard has a spot to fill in their next edition. So they came to us and said, well, we'd like to put something out. So we worked on a letter. It will come from me, but it's all information that we've worked on. There won't be any surprises in it. So, we have that. And then with the annexation, I already talked about it. We're working on a group for monitoring social media within the Sandy limits here, the city limits. So we're working on that, and it's just kind of go. I'm really impressed with the interagency and the developments they've made as far as what they're working on towards a PAC and things like that. And then in addition, the local 1159 has far exceeded anything I thought that they would be working on, and they've shared quite a bit in some of their plans. A lot of it hinges on that ballot number. So once we get that, I think we'll start to see, but they've been extremely involved in the support and the pushing forward and getting articles written and getting support letters. They've got a litany of support letters to go into the ballot pamphlet. So super impressed with both the interagency and the local and the help that they've been giving towards this effort. So I just wanted to mention that. I think that's going really well. And I don't think anybody can say it's lack of trying this time. We are trying. So, but this is how the only way that Nick and I know how to do business when it comes to annexations and things like that is just go to the people, tell them what it is. So, and they'll vote. So happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
And Sue, do you have an opinion on, do you want that information just as a CC?
Yeah, great.
Okay,
And you gave me the dates and stuff for those, so I've got those on my calendar, and
yeah,
where I can show up, I will for sure.
Yeah. I'll say that the interagency group has been very responsive to all the dates, and Ron's been really great. Just so the rest of the board knows what's kind of going on out there, I think is helpful.
Yeah, it's always good to know.
Okay.
If somebody else, and I have the information available.
Yeah, okay, I will start to CC you guys on some of those dates.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, for putting all that stuff together and being, sending all that to us and communicating really well with us. So I know Ron and I both appreciate it.
You're welcome, thank you.
Really makes everybody else's job a lot easier when you put it all together like that for us. All right. Jacob Whitaker, what have you got for us?
Okay, good evening. Not a whole lot. January was a slow month for your finances. We did make the Q3 contract for service payment, the transfer from Sandy Fire to Clackamas Fire. So you'll see that in the bank reconciliation report there, the 1.2 million going out for the contract for service. Otherwise, the accounts look good. You're still earning a pretty good interest rate of they just lowered it to 4%, but still expect to meet budget expectations on that. And so if you look at the next page, the budget actuals, everything's still trending well. And looks good both from a revenue, property collection, interest income side, and of course, the expenditures are pretty locked in. You've only made the 3 quarterly payments. So everything looking good, and that's pretty much all I have unless there's questions.
Oh, there isn't a whole lot anymore.
No.
Okay, Brent, I think you're up next. What have you got?
Okay, thank you. Walter Staffing, in response to the month of January, Station 74 was staffed 25 out of 31 nights, and responded to 12 incidents during the month. Station 21 was staffed 9 out of 31 nights. The rehab group responded to all 4 dispatches this month and arrived on scene 3 times. The water tender group responded to all 4 dispatches and had 1 arrival on scene. Training for volunteer suppression firefighters was, we started up again after Opsana, and so we did a winter response and scene safety training as well as fire suppression and alarm systems. We also did training on taking a hydrant. EMS was a recertification for CPR, and we helped the training at the training center. We helped move materials in for the career academy that started in February. We also currently have open recruitment for volunteers, and so if anyone knows somebody that might be interested in becoming a volunteer, it is open until I think March is when it's gonna close out. That's all I have. If there's any questions, we have an answer.
You do good work.
Yeah, thank you for making that, that's for sure. All right, anything else from anyone? Okay, can we motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I can second that.
All in favor?
I
Opposed? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
all right. Thank you guys.
You're right.
So I have a question for you. When I accept